Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today, we're going to continue from the last topic, perfect marriages. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you would also like to share your life experiences, please post in the email down below. Okay, so for today, we're going to go on to the topic, perfect marriages. Perfection is nothing but several pieces of imperfection glued together. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage, like we discussed in the last video. Two people that come together and have their own individual faults. Yes, you all have different faults, different likes, dislikes, wants, needs, fantasies. There are different places your spouse would rather prefer to go to. Secrets. Yes, we talked about different dark secrets. Mental health, physical disabilities, imperfections. So there's no perfect marriage if we look at it. Cannot be perfect or have a perfect marriage. It's just our human nature that gets in the way of perfection. What we can do is to work together as one. That's why, the Bible says two will come together to become one. And as a cohesive unit, to make marriage the best marriage possible. How do two people that have gotten married make it the best marriage ever? How do you make it the best marriage ever? They have to work very hard at it. They make sure they have common interests. Remember, they are all coming from different places of life. They have common interests and they partake in each other's hobbies. Even if one of them doesn't find it so interesting, you just need to work it out amongst yourselves. It's called compromise. You're compromising just to make your marriage work. You give up a little bit of your time and happiness so that your spouse can enjoy whatever activity that is taking place. Then they turn around and do the same for you. It's vice versa, and it's a compromise. If you really want your marriage to work, if you really want to have a perfect marriage, you have to compromise in one way or the other. For example, my wife doesn't enjoy soccer, but I love them. You see, Mr. Sam says his wife doesn't love soccer, but he enjoys it. And what did she do? She had to join in. She had to compromise. And same thing for him as well. It's not as if he enjoys going shopping, but he had to. He will carry the basket along for her at the shopping mall, pick up things off the shelf, and they are happy all together. Enjoy each other's company. Make time for dates. Like I said in the last video, go out to movies. On a vacation, you can enjoy yourselves. And go out, have fun together. Volunteer to work together, to assist organizations. Go out, do service projects together. And you will realize that, you get to understand one another even better than where you started from. And help others that are in need. Take vacation, fantastic. Together, go out and do fun things, exercises together. Early in the morning, you can go out together to have fun. Jog around your estate, have fun. Spend time in group activities with other family members, and friends as well. Spend time with your friends away from your spouse. If you rather want to have a time out from your spouse, good, and it's good. You can spend time away from your husband just for a few hours and you're back, just to clear your mind. Make sure you make time for yourself as an individual, because there are times you just need to be alone as well. And do things that you will like doing on your own time, away from your spouse. Enjoy yourself. Clear your mind. Especially those of you that have children already, this is for you. Have time for yourself. Enjoy yourself away from your children. Take time out to refresh your mind. It helps. Have lots of time cooking together. Do chores together. Men help to clean up in the home. It will make your wife to be happy. It will help her to be stronger than the way you were. She's got so much to do, so many activities she's engaged in. Her mind is choked up. So how are you helping her? How are you relieving the stress from her? And at the same time, you still want her attention. Pay bills together. Women, it's not just for the men to pay bills. You can put money together. It will relieve the stress of your husband as well. While the last three may or may not be the most fun things that you rather want to do, like cooking, paying bills together, doing things together allows you both to know one another better and not to feel upset that one person is being cheated above the other one. It's always nice when you share all these responsibilities. Have lots of sex. This is the major part of marriage. It's very important that you have to. Repeat, have lots of sex. If you do plan to have kids in the future, your time for sex will diminish greatly as time goes on. But remember, be experimental with your sex. Find out what each person likes and dislike. And it comes to sex, when it comes to sex, and keep the sex interesting. Find new ways to please each other. Find new ways to make it interesting. Make sure you cuddle and have romantic dates. You see? Go swimming together, go to the beach together. Show affection for one another. Do nice things for each other. Make sure you have open and honest communication with each other. Tell the truth, tell the fact. Inform your partner what is going to happen or what is happening in your life. At your place of work, have an open communication. Discuss with your spouse. Your spouse should be your best friend. Be able to take constructive criticism. Yes, if your husband tells you, oh, see how you're looking, you need to reduce your weight and all of that, why should you be upset? Maybe that's what he's admiring out there. And he's home to tell you. Then you take it up and work on it. And vice versa. And be able to give it that way also. Talk about your feelings with each other and how you have made each other happy or upset. Be kind, be loving, share what you have. If your husband does not have the money, the cash, share with him. Who says you cannot, help out in the family, in the house? That does not change your responsibility or your duty as the wife or the helper to your husband. Be kind, loving, gentle with your words and actions. Grow with each other. When one of you falls, pick one another up. Love each other unconditionally. Forgive. Forgiveness is key in relationship, in marriages. When one another makes mistake, forgive. You don't need to keep repeating the same mistake over and over again. Don't sleep without clearing your mind, without removing the anger from your heart. Forgive and forget. Every marriage is different. You can't compare it with your friend's marriage. You can't compare it with even your parents' marriage. It's different. What works for one may not work for another, may not even work for you. These are just a few of the attributes to think about when it comes to marriage. A good, strong marriage forges a bond that lasts a lifetime. It's like a glue that joins them together. When you started, you're not perfect. You're not the same. You're not from the same ethnic group, from the same belief, but you have come together to make it work. So why not do a lot on it? Don't give up. If you're at the edge of divorcing, please listen to this message again and work on your marriage. There are so many things you can do that will help your marriage to be stronger. Don't compare it to your friends. Unlike anything in life, if you want to be good at something, you have to work at it. Okay guys, so I've got a few posts here, life experiences. Has been sent in from California, Nigeria. So I'm going to start with the first one. Okay, so I pray you'll be able to learn from this story. Okay, so this one is from Nigeria. I'm saying initially at the start of our relationship, when we were still getting to know each other, we just spent time watching movies, order and eat food at home, sometimes clean the rooms together. This is what we're talking about. Fantastic. We used to talk a lot initially, like forever, over 12 hours at a stretch, and we'll be discussing about every single thing about our lives. And this is open communication. This is how marriages should be. You don't need to hide anything from your partner. Our childhood, they talked about their childhood life, our likes, the world, politics, science, and whatsoever. They never kept anything away from themselves. It was a precious time. We still discuss these things even after 12 years of getting married. But for the first 2 years of our marriage, we were in the initial phase where it's all colorful, and that's how it is. And that's why, you know, you can't really predict what will happen in the nearest future. But what you should tell yourself is that I'm going to make it work. It's going to work out. I'm not going to break this relationship. But with small occasional fights, that is certain. You will fight, you will have misunderstanding. But how you come back and merge together, how you bond together again is what matters. After that, things changed and I left to another country. I had a new life, new environment, and since we had been together already for 7 years, I took him for granted. I put my new friends on priority and would ask him to let me enjoy. So she was, would rather prefer to talk and gist with her friends after so many years. So she was taking the husband for granted. He always used to tell me that he was not all happy with my current life, and even then I would snub him off. Now, this is a lesson here. Even no matter where you've been posted to because of work, distant marriage, distant relationship, you can still communicate. You can still continue having that daily conversation with your spouse. Distance is not an excuse. Thank God for technology. You can talk, gist, you can Skype, you have WhatsApp. There are different things that will enable your relationship to grow. Now, friends should not come between you and your spouse. It's not an excuse. Fine, you enjoy gisting and going out with your friends. The same thing, you have to create time with your spouse. And we should be grateful when our partners open up to tell us that, oh, you know what, I'm not enjoying this relationship anymore. Because a lot of, partners will never open their mouth to say anything. But if your husband tells you that, I'm not enjoying this anymore, please appreciate him. Appreciate him and look into the marriage and look for, okay, where am I going wrong, or where have I gone wrong? And you make up. We still fight over many things, but they don't last longer than a night. One of us just gives in as we realize the fights are not really worth it. Because one person just has to be, should I say the scapegoat? You just need to be the fool. You can't struggle. Two people cannot fight and win. No, one person will have to succumb. So, whenever he visits me, okay, so that means the husband, visits at our new place. Okay, we do everything together. I can do things my own way and he does his own, but we do it together. We split our work also. I do the cooking for him. He cleans up the dishes. Fantastic. When I am feeling sad, he consoles me. When he's not in a good mood, I try to cheer him up. And that's how it's supposed to be. When he is lazy, I am active. So it's vice versa. We sometimes sing together. I am the voice artist and he does the background score. You see? We complement each other most of the time. We do have bad days, but we understand that each of us have our own personal space and we don't disturb the other. So this is what we're saying, perfect marriage. Understanding each other, getting to know, okay, this is your space. I'm not going to disturb you at this particular time. We have our own hobbies and we support each other in that. Like we said earlier, the wife didn't like soccer. The husband would rather, watch soccer all day long. But she had to support him. She had to sit with him to do all of that. And vice versa, the husband also goes shopping with her. And so many other examples. I do the same thing, of course. It's not possible to carry a bag which is heavier for him. But I offer to take all the other things from him so that he carries only the heavy bag while I carry the 2 lighter ones. So they are sharing responsibility. The perfect married life for me is the one we have now. Enjoying each other's company, respecting one another, compromising on insignificant differences of opinions at the same time, ensuring we understand the reasons for those differences. That means they talk a lot, they discuss, and once one person tells the other, I'm not happy, I don't like this, they resolve it immediately. Communicating and sharing every single day of our lives with each other, sharing the same thoughts and ideas of a good future together. And I pray this relationship will remain permanent in Jesus' name. Now, I'm going to look at, read out the second one. This one is from California. Yeah. Okay, wow, these are old couples. Okay. It says, my wife and I have been married for almost 28 years. Wow. We've been together for 30 years. We both come from broken, dysfunctional, poor backgrounds. We started dating when she was 14. Wow, that's a long time. And I was 16. She had my oldest son at 15. I joined the Navy a year or so later. We were married that year. We were too young, naive, and both had no idea of what a healthy relationship should be like. We worked long hours and devoted all our time and energy to raising our kids. We essentially had no honeymoon, never took a vacation alone, together, never even went out alone. If we ever had a night without the children, we were always a large crowd of friends. You see why sometimes you just need to break out of, have a time out. It helps. It helps to renew the mind. Okay, so what happened next? Eventually, our marriage broke down. Definitely, because it will. There was no time to bond together. We had no bond. We stayed because of the kids. Infidelity also completely destroyed our marriage because you'll be paying attention to other people out there, even at the place of work. We were on the brink of divorce. Then one day, while separated and planning our divorce, we had the most life-changing conversation, thank God. My wife told me that despite all the divorce advice she had gotten from all the multiple divorcees in her family, that she had received a call from her aunt. Her aunt told her a secret. She told her that her uncle had an affair when they were young. Okay, so that's the auntie's husband, right? Okay, that she made the decision to forgive him and they walked through it together. She said, after that, he gave me the best 34 years of my life. Be careful who you take advice from. Sincerely. Thank God she spoke with the aunt. Thank God the aunt had good advice for her. And even the aunt, she has gone through the same issue before where she was almost at the brink of, divorcing. And she said she had to forgive the husband. And they've been happily married for 34 years now. She told me that in spite of a situation that all of the blame could easily be completely be assigned to her. She understood that the breakdown of the marriage was a 50-50. And it's true. If we keep saying, oh, it's the man's fault, no, it's not the woman's fault. It's 50-50. Both of them has the fault. So until you come to the point where you understand that, yes, it's actually a shared responsibility, then that means, that's the only time you can make your marriage perfect. Accepting the blame, the fault. Anything that happened after that were nothing more than symptoms of a failing relationship, she said. She told me that she accepted her responsibility and apologized for it. You see, so the aunt actually apologized, realized it was her fault as well, not just the husband's fault. And it's possible the aunt didn't even give enough time to the husband. So the husband's attention was diverted to other things. She did not want to throw away the time we had invested in each other. She wanted to work together and rebuild our marriage. That's awesome. At that moment, I immediately understood what a true relationship was. I had never experienced a healthy, functional moment with another human being like I had in that moment. It was a true moment of clarity. So now she understood, and I'm sure, she went back home to work it out. My wife had become my hero. She inspired me to be better. It was the day that not only was my marriage saved after she spoke with the aunt and she got back home, but my wife and I became new people. We began living intentionally with a purpose. We sought out to learn how to deliberately design a great relationship. And that was what the husband is saying now, appreciating the fact that his wife was able to talk to her aunt and the aunt was able to advise her correctly. We were working at it naturally by design. We individually grew as well. The positive side effect was remarkable. It's been an amazing journey. We never dreamed either of us could ever be so happy. We now make time for each other every day. So they found solution to the problem. They didn't just throw it away. They didn't throw away the relationship of so many years, the marriage of so many years. They made it work. We do little things for each other. We take vacations by ourselves regularly. Those were things that they never did before. We write love notes to each other regularly. You can do that even when your spouse is going to work or something. Just drop a short note in his lunchbox and let him get to work, and wow, he's wild, and everyone is wondering, why is this man so excited today? It's because of you. We hug each other several times throughout the day. Most importantly, we stop judging each other. You don't need to judge. For our sake and for our sanity, and just accept each other for who we are. We make it a point to be humble and grateful that we have someone that we know will never leave us. Sometimes we say we wish that we knew then what we know now, and that is it. But we both know that isn't true. The darkness is what gives birth to the light. So if you've not gone through so many dark moments and all of that, you wouldn't even think that, oh, I can work this out. If any part of the beginning of this story changes, we don't get the opportunity to discover what we found. It isn't as hard as some people make it out to be. It has its moments for sure, but love isn't hard. Thank you so much for this story, and I'm sure we've all learned from it. Okay, I've got the last post here for today, and it says, no perfect marriage. Wow. This one is from South Africa. Okay, so I'm going to read this out to us all, and I pray we'll all learn from it. It's been almost 3 hours. I'm still in labor ward, twisting, turning, keep telling my mind, my body is prepared for this. Okay, so I guess she's about to deliver. As I look at the time, 2:30 a.m., and beside me, my husband fast asleep. You see, so couples always assist each other, like we've always said. The husband was definitely by her bedside. I thought to myself, should I scream for once to wake him up? How can he sleep when I am in pain like this? Imagine, woman, you are still complaining. Your husband is, I'm sure, fagged out since morning. Just to take a little nap, you're complaining. But I told myself I needed every energy I got to get through this. 5 a.m., our friend woke up and started holding my hand. The pain got even worse. I was twisting and trying to push as I can. The nurse came in after changing shifts and took one look down there and said, "Oh, I can see the head. That's the head of the baby. It's time to push." She looked at my husband and asked him if he really wants to be around. He said, yes, because he has to. He needs to be there all through the way, the whole journey. It will help to strengthen your spouse. 7:15 a.m., I'm finally pushed and our baby girl is delivered. The sound of her cries was one of the most hopeful and happiest thing I heard in my life. Pediatrics bundled her up immediately and put her into the ventilator and hurried to NICU. My husband ran behind them after enduring the stitches and resting around 9 a.m. My husband came back. I had lots of questions. So she was asking the husband, how is the baby? Who does she look like? He answered, she's got your nose. She was crying, but they are checking on her now. Once I was back in my ward, I was bleeding profusely. I need to wear and have to walk to the bathroom and need help putting it on. He stood there in the bathroom with me. So the husband was there all through the journey, listening to my instruction how to put a pad on the undie, and as I stood up to wear them, he was there. He helped out to fix up all those things. I blackened out. I woke up, realized he managed to catch me. Oh, so sorry. I guess she fainted and helped me to wear my clothes and guided me back to my bed. He then went and checked on the baby as I rested. So I feel this woman should truly appreciate her husband, because the husband has been there all through the delivery period, helping her as well, helping the baby, checking on them. He came back to see me at 3 p.m. The baby's heart is abnormal. Wow. I pray the baby survived. Okay, tomorrow, so the husband told her, tomorrow they are taking the baby to the heart specialist hospital. I told him I want to see the baby. He took me in the wheelchair and we visited the baby. We checked the baby. I have never seen a newborn in my life before. Okay, so I guess this should be their first baby then. This was my first time, okay? Like I said, I have never touched a newborn baby before. This was my first time, and God, she looked beautiful. As I talked to her, she started getting emotional and started to cry. My husband started petting her. I started feeling sick, and he sent me back to my ward. Okay, the mom was still trying to regain her strength after the delivery. The next day, my husband and my father followed the baby to the heart specialist. I was too weak to get out of bed, 2 p.m. He called me and told me the baby is admitted and I have to be with the baby. I was trying to get myself discharged. 3 p.m. my father came to pick me up to the center where the baby was. And as I was told to go to the ICU, there my husband was waiting. And I'm sure the husband has actually not had a long rest, everywhere helping out. We were told to sit, and he started telling me her heart is failing. That's the baby's heart. They had to give her CPR. I start crying. At 4:30 p.m., we were by the nurse to see her. We're taken by the nurse to see the baby. There she was. Wow, stilled, hands up in the air and quiet. So sad. That means the baby died. My husband started holding me and crying. That was the first time in our marriage I saw my husband cry. So she said, my idea of a perfect marriage. There's actually no perfect marriage. Nothing in life is ever perfect, just like the way we lost our first baby. we just got life with it. We just got life with it and try to learn something and move on. And thank God for them, that both of them, they love each other. They are still together even after they lost their baby. And I'm so happy that the husband was there, for her. There are some husbands that will just run away because they'll tell you, oh, the stress is too much. I can't cope. I can't manage. I don't have enough money. Even when you don't have enough money, stay with your wife. Hold her hand all through the journey. Marriage journey, it's not easy. It's not perfect. We just need to work together and make it the best that we can have around us. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe.